Coming up on this edition of Virginia Beach Frontline Firefighter. In the fire service, you never know what a day will bring or where an emergency will happen. Because of this, it's always good to be ready and have the tools for anything thrown your way. Battalion Chief Bill Scalini shows us the new equipment for fighting wildland brush fires. Last month, Battalion Chief Billy Reynolds brought us part 1 on a segment on vertical ventilation and covered when to perform and the concerns of vertical ventilation. This month, he continues with a final piece on vertical ventilation. Captain Sullivan demonstrates the new noise-canceling feature on the Apex radio coming soon. One of the worst scenarios in our job is for one of our fellow firefighters to go down. Captain Rock brings us a segment on how to get the gear off a firefighter and start applying CPR to that individual. I'm Master Firefighter Tom Parks. Here's your host for Virginia Beach Frontline Firefighter, Public Information Officer Art Kahn.
Hi, I'm Art Kahn, and welcome to this month's edition of Virginia Beach Frontline Firefighter. While fighting structure fires might be our primary mission, the truth is Virginia Beach Fire Department responds to all kinds of emergencies. In fact, there's so much land in Virginia Beach featuring so many different kinds of terrain that many battalions are called into action to respond to brush fires, both large and small. In this next segment, Battalion Chief Bill Scalini shows us some of the new equipment Virginia Beach is utilizing to fight brush fires and even larger wildfires.
Hi, I'm Battalion Chief Bill Scalini, Battalion 4B. I'm the Program Manager for the Wildland Urban Interface Group with the City of Virginia Beach Fire Department. I want to showcase the equipment that we just got from the Fire Department. We were able to purchase brush fire hose and equipment through the last hose purchase order. And we were able to supply Battalion 4 engines with 1-inch brush hose and equipment, which is going to make things a lot easier for us fighting brush fires. The ultimate goal is to provide this same equipment for every engine in the city. And I want to just showcase that right now and show you what it looks like. Each engine in Battalion 4 has it. It's in a different location, so if you're on relief down here or on callback, it's pretty important for you to understand where it's at on that rig so you know where to get to it. But it should make life a lot easier fighting brush fires as opposed to pulling a pre-connect all the time to do that. All right, the basic package we just purchased is 4 sections of 1-inch forestry hose. It's lightweight, it's single jacket, and a forestry nozzle, which has a 2 pattern ability. It has a fan and a straight stream ability. 1.5 to 1 inch reducing adapter, which allows you to hook up to the engine directly or to a gated Y, which we have also. We have an 1.5-inch gated Y. We have a gated Y, 1.5-inch gated Y that can be attached to the end of a pre-connect line. If the fire is deep into the woods, you can pull your pre-connect off and attach the Y to it, and we can operate 2 forestry hoses off of that Y, or you can utilize 1/2 of the Y for exposure protection. If for some reason the wildfire is threatening a structure of some kind, you can hook up a 1.75-inch line to that with a nozzle and protect the exposure while you're still fighting the wildland fire with the 1-inch hose on the other side. This is a very basic package right now, but it should fit our needs for now until we can get more equipment down the road. Okay, what I want to demonstrate here is a typical evolution. I'm going to utilize Engine 13 and their crew. They're going to help us out. A typical use and deployment of the forestry hose. We're gonna simulate a fire that's beyond the reach of the brush fire hose, and we're gonna add on to a pre-connect in this case, and add the Y to it, so you guys can see exactly how it's used. So we'll go ahead and get that started. All right, Company 13 has elected to use donut rolls for their deployment. This is the method of choice for the 13 engine. The other engines have different configurations. engine 6, I believe, has a bag. 17 and 5 and 21 have different configurations also, but they chose to use the donut roll. They find it's a lot easier to deploy that way. They're able to just drop the donut roll down and walk with it, and it saves the problem of getting caught around stumps and things of that nature. Given the gated Y 150 psi will give you a good stream. This nozzle will give about 30 to 50 gallons per minute. As you can see, there's two different streams. You got the straight stream, which has a very good reach, and then you have the fan that will cover more of an area. There's absolutely no nozzle reaction to worry about. It's like operating a garden hose at home. It's very simple, very easy to maneuver the hose, and it should make our job a lot easier when we're in the middle of the woods and it's very hot outside. The hose itself is not designed to be dragged through burning embers. It is single jacket and it is durable to a point, but the hose is designed to be used coming from the green area, which is the unburned portion of the woods. We fight our brush fires usually from the flanks, so that shouldn't be a problem. But there are occasions where it's going to be dragged through hot embers and things of that nature. That shouldn't be a problem. Just try not to make a habit of dragging it through hot embers and burned areas. One of the scenarios we're going to use here is protection of a structure that's threatened by the woods fire. In this case, we're going to connect an 1.5-inch hose to the unused port of the gated Y. And we're going to supply the gated Y with 150 psi and be able to protect the exposure while at the same time fighting the brush fire with the forestry hose.
If you have any questions about what you just seen, feel free to give me a call. Battalion Chief Bill Scalani, Battalion 4B, or you can call one of my members on the Wildland Urban Interface Group. Their names are going to be on the screen. And just feel free to give us a call and we'll answer your questions as best we can. Thank you.
Last month, Battalion Chief Billy Reynolds began a two-part series to educate us on the proper techniques to employ when using vertical ventilation to fight a structure fire. This month, Chief Reynolds wraps up the training with some key elements to be aware of.
So when you're talking about vertical ventilation, you have to go up there and cut with a purpose. Being on the roof is probably one of the most dangerous places to operate. It's not a place to hang out. You have to get up there on the roof, make the cuts, and get down quickly. That ladder operator has a lot of jobs to do. Not only are they throwing egress ladders to get to the roof to perform the cut, but also you have to operate off a roof ladder. So it takes time getting it up there. So you have to go with a purpose. And when you're setting those roof ladders, you need to set it from the apex of the roof, the ridge, all the way so it extends past the plate. You don't want to be placing a roof ladder where it's hooked onto your ridge board where the heel is sitting in the middle of the roof. Basically, you're putting a cantilever there, so if that roof fails, you're going to fall right with the roof. There's nothing to support your weight. And a lot of times when we are performing vertical ventilation, we have to get off that roof ladder to cut an effective hole. When you're doing that, you want to spread your weight. You don't want to be a statue up there. And what I mean by a statue, when you get up there with that hook, you need to spread your base. That means take that tool, spread it, spread your legs so you're spreading the weight, and also, God forbid, if there is a catastrophic failure in that roof, you have something to capture your progress and capture your fall. Don't stand there like a statue, because all you are is a live load. And basically, when that roof assembly fails, it's a straight shot right into that roof. And remember, be on that roof on air. Take the time to mask up. God forbid something happens and we do fall through the roof, we want to be on air. Because if you're not, it can have a different outcome, and we don't want that. So it's good that we sit here and discuss vertical ventilation, when to do it, when not to do it. Do it early in the operation. Don't do it later in the operation where the roof assemblies are failed. And people ask questions all the time. When do you perform it? Do you perform it on a bedroom fire? We used to all the time. It was standard procedure. We'd go to the roof. But again, you got to base it on what you're seeing from the exterior, where the fire is traveling, and also, do they have a knockdown on the fire? Horizontal ventilation is very effective too. But again, I think one of the most personally effective means of ventilation to remove all those products off your crews is vertical. And it has to be done with a purpose because we have limited manpower on those roofs. And don't put entire crews on the roofs on a single family residence. It might be 2 members operating. When we're talking about commercial vertical ventilation, again, time is of the essence. Get up there with a purpose. We're not operating on a roof ladder, so you're removing a live load around the top of a commercial flat roof. And again, you're dealing with a lot of dead loads up there, i.e. HVAC systems, heating systems. So you have a lot of weight on top of these roofs. And with those being lightweight steel trusses, parallel cords, when you have a failure, the whole roof's going to come in. And you have to have somebody do nothing but watch the safety of the crews on that roof. And again, cut with a purpose. Multiple companies are going to be up there operating. Be on air, cut it, and get off the roof. Well, some of the things you want to look out for a potential roof collapse. One, look at it before you get on the roof, especially if it's a pitched roof. You know, does it look like very spongy? A lot of times during the summer, even when you don't have a fire in the attic space, for older roofs, depending on what the span is on the centers, whether it's 24 or 16, if it's an older style roof that hasn't been replaced, you'll see sagging in between the rafters. Other ones, I learned this years and years ago, if you see smoke issuing from all the tabs, underneath the tabs of your shingles, then that's an indicator that there is no sheathing underneath. The only thing that's holding that roof together is the integrity of the tabs being tied in with one another. So you're not going to go on a roof. Of course, as you're going up there, you want to sound that roof. Just don't get on the roof and start walking. You know, we're talking about residential concerns too, whether the roof's going to collapse or not. Also, when you pull up, take your tick, scan it. Look at the smoke conditions. Where's the most smoke being generated from? If you've got natural louvered vents, what's issuing out of those louvered vents? Is it heavy, heavy smoke? What's the color of the smoke? Where did the fire originate? So those are quick things you need to look at for your situational awareness when you pull up. Whether it's the engine first in or the engine and the truck company pulling up. Or if the chief officer's pulling there taking command. Look at the turbines on the roof. If it's a natural ventilator and you've got the turbines that spin, how fast is it spinning? How much smoke's coming from it? The faster it spins, the closer it is to the fire, the more heat and smoke you got generating pushing through it. Look at your vent pipes. Look at your mushroom caps. A lot of those are going to be on the Charlie side of a residential structure, so you need to look at those. The only thing you might have to do, you might have to throw a ladder up there and just take those mushroom caps off. Or is to have a ridge cap. Can you take a long pike pole and just knock some of that ridge cap off? You'd be surprised how much ventilation that provides when you start peeling back a ridge cap on a residential roof. And again, go back to some of the pre-planning. If you're dealing with multifamily, apartments, single family attached, if you're doing pre-plans of target hazards, walk through them. If you're going on an EMS run at one of these places, poke your head through the scuttle. Look at the type of construction in the attic space that you're dealing with. What kind of roof covering are we dealing with? Are we dealing with asphalt shingles? Are we dealing with, I've seen recycled rubber that they're using as shingles now. They're using terracotta on some of these older style roofs that you'll see in the older cities or down at the ocean front. That could be a sign that, hey, I'm dealing with some heavy timber construction to hold the weight of this. So those are a lot of things when you're residential that you want to pay attention to, and always have that head on a swivel. Watch what you're doing. Not so much the person cutting, but the individual behind them needs to be doing nothing but watching the entire roof for failure. And I'm going to be looking as an incident commander, any of us, for, hey, are conditions starting to improve? Is the smoke getting worse? How long is it taking you to vent the place? Now commercial, it's different. All right, when we're talking about commercial roof failure, you got to pay attention to all your loads on the roof, the construction, the spans. You're dealing with lightweight steel truss. Again, it's no different. You're going to have multiple companies operating up there, so it's even more paramount that you pay attention to any types of roof failure or signs that it's failing. Like your vent pipe sagging, units starting to sag, fires poking through other areas of the roof. That's a sign right there that it's time to get off the roof. And don't stay up there and play. Cut it and get off the roof. We're not statues. We're live loads. We're moving around on a roof. And when that thing fails, the entire roof's going to fail in. It's going to be one catastrophic failure when you're dealing with flat roof, lightweight steel truss construction. If anybody has any questions about roof tactics, shoot me an email.
Radio communications are obviously vital to the job we perform in the fire service. Unfortunately, given the noisy environment that we work in, communicating clearly can sometimes be a challenge. Captain Brian Sullivan demonstrates the new noise-canceling features of the Apex radio. As you're about to witness in this next segment, the improvements this new technology brings to radio communications are impressive.
This is Captain Sullivan with the Virginia Beach Fire Department Communications Bureau. We're here today to demonstrate some of the noise canceling features of the new Motorola Apex radios we're getting ready to deploy to the field.
With its siren and horn blaring in the background. We are here today to test the noise cancellation feature of the new Apex portables versus our current XPS portables. I'm currently speaking at one of the Apex portables with a different sound profile of a fire truck with the siren and horn blaring in the background. We are here today testing the noise cancellation feature of the new Apex radios versus our current XPS portables. Currently, I am standing in front of the pump panel, pumping a fire truck at approximately 200 psi. We are here today testing the noise cancellation feature of the new Apex portables versus our current XPS portables. I am currently speaking at one of the Apex portables at a different sound profile in front of this fire truck pumping at approximately 200 psi. Currently, I am on our current XPS portable, and behind me I have a phone running at full speed. This is the noise cancellation feature of the new Apex radios versus our current XPS portable. I am currently using one of the Apex portables in front of the saw running at full speed.
Hope you've enjoyed this segment on the radios and are looking forward to having them come to the field soon. Thanks again. For Frontline Firefighter, I'm Captain Sullivan.
You know, one call nobody ever wants to get in this business is firefighter down. Unfortunately, there's a very real possibility that at some point in your career, you will receive just such a call. When that happens, your fellow firefighters are depending on you to be prepared. In this next segment, Captain Mike Rock, along with some of his colleagues at Station 7, demonstrate an efficient method to aid a fallen firefighter and quickly initiate life-saving CPR techniques.
I'm Captain Mike Rock. On this edition of Truck Company Tips, we're going to discuss firefighter down CPR, specifically a quick and easy method to doff a firefighter's PPE from the top up. All right, for this scenario, Rescue 2 is our RIT. They've dragged the down firefighter outside the structure. You see there's no RIT bag here, but the firefighter went down. They did not have to use a RIT bag. So it's a 4-person RIT company. Top person is the head. He's responsible for removing the helmet, the face piece, and the air. 2 guys on the side are responsible for opening the coat. You can see that happen pretty rapidly, and chest compressions are starting already. 4th position is the feet. They're ready to drag the feet out once the arms are above the down firefighter. The head position and one of the side positions help get the arms above the down firefighter. The foot position pulls out, and as you can see, the down firefighter quickly slides out, and you can commence your CPR and any other medical interventions that need to take place. One important note on this, as you can see, Captain Wood has looped his thumbs through the loopholes. This works, we found in our drills, very well to get the sleeves, the arms, off the down firefighters so they can slide out. With the yoke strap, dragging them out, and the yoke strap does not have any impediment on dragging the firefighter out this way. On this next evolution, we're going to do this in real time.
Okay, got it.
I'm Captain Mike Rock. If you have any questions on this segment, please feel free to contact me with the information at the bottom of the screen.
Well, that wraps up this month's edition of Virginia Beach Frontline Firefighter. Thanks for watching. As always, we want to remind you that if you have any ideas for future segments of Frontline, send them along to Kirk Kellerhals at the information you see listed on your screen. We also want to remind you to watch us on YouTube, follow us on Twitter, and like us on Facebook. For Frontline Firefighter, I'm Art Kahn.